It's 2 o'clock and I am here. How is everybody? Let's just do a little switcheroo there. Did you notice that cute little star dissolve out? I thought I've been playing with the controls. I had a few minutes. And you know, when I have a few minutes, I tend to explore. And may I say that it was kind of fun to find that and try a couple of the different ones. So who knows what you're going to see next week. I hope everybody's well and that you've had a great crafting week. I know I had fun. I've made quite a few cards. I have a stack of mail to go out. It's not going out until my stamps arrive. May I say that I ordered them on my USPS app and it said 3 to 5 days. And I thought, oh, perfect. 3 to 5 days is great. And so was that over the weekend I ordered it? So I expected Thursday and I got a notice in my, from the USPS post office, how they got the app, or they send you email notices about what's coming in your mail every day. Well, I was positive that Thursday I saw those stamps on there. And they didn't come. And I thought, well, maybe it's just a day delayed, so they didn't come Friday. So this morning I got on the app, and I actually got on the internet. And I went and I looked up my orders, signed in, and sure enough, my stamps are in Kansas somewhere. Now, I don't live close to Kansas. I'm not sure because they said that the stamps were in stock. I thought it might be in stock at my local post office, but I was obviously I misunderstood. Anyway, I still don't have stamps, but I know they're going to come. Hi, Gladys. Did you hear my stamp story and my stack of mail to go out? It's crazy. But anyway, I will get stamps. I'm assured online that they're in the process somewhere. I'm hoping for next week. I would like to get all of these mailed out, plus the cards that I have for today. Hi, Lori. Good to see you. How's your Friday going? And Gladys, how's your weather? What's up at your place? I know how Lori's weather is because we both live, well, not too far from each other. It's lovely here. We had what was called a mid-latitude cyclone last night, and we had lots of wind and rain. I have a friend who lives in the south side who said her patio umbrella was taken out. Lori's busy today. Anyway, I was expecting a rainstorm and some wind. I didn't know it was actually going to be called a cyclone because some cyclones happen south of the equator. But I guess mid-latitude must mean this was a northerly one. It was not as strong as what's hit the southwest of the United States. Not at all. I don't think it did any damage here. It blew a few leaves off. There was the possibility of power outages. You are here. I'm glad you're here, Lori. The power outages didn't happen in my area. I didn't check the rest of the county. Fall like mid-70s. See, I think that's perfect, Gladys. Absolutely perfect. Mid-70s is my favorite temperature range. It's a little narrow, I'll admit, but 68 to 78. How's that? I'll open it up a little. We're in the 60s here, but we've got sunshine, a mild breeze, and it looks like the windstorm is over. But I haven't checked to see if there's anything interesting coming in. Oh, Birch Bay's fine. That's good. Yes, Lori lives on Birch Bay, which is lovely. I don't know if I told Lori that I'd like to do a little crafting retreat for my customers and my friend group every year. And I had world mark points that were expiring. So I booked Birch Bay Penthouse for a few days for a few days. I'll have to email you when it is. Anyway, it's always a lot of fun. I am going to show you a bit of what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World. Let's see. Let's go to this one first. World Card Making Day is October 5th. Oh, Gladys, your son was working in North Carolina this week? Oh, my goodness. I hope he gets home tonight. That's awful. Oh, Shirley, you lost your yard recycle container. Yep, that's a little frustrating. I should have gone out because I knew it was going to be blowing. I should have gone out and put my 2 hanging baskets that haven't quite died yet. They're almost gone. I should have put them on the ground, although I think they're okay. And I should start putting away my furniture on the deck, or at least the covers for it. But I haven't done that yet. I did, however, get all the mowing done and all the grass clippings picked up this week, so I am feeling good about that. Okay, so World Card Making Day is October 5th, and Stampin' Up! Is doing the 2 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 1 to 2 p.m. my time event, and it's free, and if you register, it'll tell you what products they're using. And since it's coming up so quickly, it's probably a little late to order them. And I really had intentions of ordering a couple things, but Oh, Laura, you went to Bellevue yesterday and back. Yeah, that's what, an hour and a half, 3-hour drive? Glad you got home before the wind also. It's not fun driving on the freeway with wind. Okay, the next thing coming up is a starter kit special. So if you had been thinking about joining Stampin' Up, it's a good time, anytime in the month of October, for the entire month. It's going to be $155 worth of products for only $99 when you sign up. And I've got room on my team. I'd love to have you join us. And if you're interested, just send me a message or put it in the comments and I'll send you a message. Oh, Lori, 5 hours. Oh, that doesn't sound like fun. Not at all, as a matter of fact. So normally it's $125, so it's $30 of extra product in the starter kit, which is nice. It's also a good time if you wanted something larger, like maybe the glass mat or the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. It's nice to be able to put that in because you choose whatever you want in your starter kit. Okay, next we're going to, since I said the word kits, again, we're talking about October, the entire month. It's up to 30% off on kits from the Kits collection. And I think it might vary a little here and there, so you'd want to check that online. But there's some cool kits in there. So, matter of fact, I think I just got one. No, I know I just got one because I unpacked it, half an hour ago. It's the one with the card making kit, with the big pretty box. It was such a pretty blue. I couldn't resist it. And now, let's go down to the table. And like I said, I've been playing around with things. So there I am down in your corner. Hi. I don't know, sometimes it annoys me when there's pictures on. And so if you're annoyed by it, just let me know and I will remove it. Remove myself from the corner. But I think that's a corner that's not used for a lot of other stuff. So it should be okay. Okay, here we go. First of all, from last week's video, Gladys, for commenting, you won the card kit. And again, it won't be coming until I get stamps. I really, really like to put on the non-machinable stamps because that makes it a greater chance that it won't be messed up in the machine and squinched down. So even though it's a little more money, may I say, you are all worth it, in my opinion. Commenting on YouTube, I've got Heidi Keeney. For sharing on Facebook, I have Cindy Walker. And nobody shared on Facebook, so Cindy Howard is also getting a kit. We're calling her the YouTube sharer, even though she shared on Facebook. Okay, set those aside. I'll put addresses on them and add them to my growing stack of Happy Mail going out. Okay, here's our card. This is the inspiration. This was sent to me by Suzanne Kaufman. Lovely message. And I just love the way the mechanism works, that it closes up and opens and all fits in an envelope. So I wanted to figure out how to do it. So I took my little ruler and pencil and paper, and I did figure it out. I had it all cut correctly, but I couldn't, and I wanted it to open from the top because that way it can just stand for display. I couldn't figure out what I did wrong. What I wound up doing is it wouldn't pull up. So I actually forced it up and got my bone folder out and made a fold. But I honestly didn't know why it didn't work with the directions I had thought I had figured out. So that said, I made a third one. And I figured out where the fold should come in. And then I got to thinking this uses an entire sheet of cardstock because it uses both halves. You cut it at 4 1/4 and it's 11 inches long. And then you have some scoring, of course. And this is where the back card came up. And it seems to me that that just adds weight to a card, which could add postage. And I wondered if I could do it without that. So on card number 3, I have a 4 1/4 by 6 inch piece, and I scored it a 1/2 inch on each side and folded it down. Now I will say that perhaps it's not quite as neat right here. Oh, hi Cindy. Oh, we're just getting started. I'm just going through my process of figuring out how to do the card. And so once I figure this out, I decided I could show you what I'm doing and how I made it. The bad side of having used 6 sheets of the pretty paper is, oh, hi Simone, good to see you. So Simone, were you affected by the hurricane? It's nice for you to be here live. I appreciate it. Now that I've got it figured out, I think I can explain it. But as I was saying, I used all this pretty paper that was the ducks, and I didn't have a lot of it left. So there was none to make our card for today. So we're going to leave this one right here as our inspiration. And we are using other products. We are using Autumn Expressions, which has great sentiments. I just love the scripty sentiments. Just gorgeous. Everyday Greetings. What did I pull in from here? Thinking of You. That's what I did. I used the sentiment Thinking of You. I made mine, and the one I've done is, oh, I'm glad your husband's coming home from Texas. Sounds like you're okay. I used the Spotlight on Nature dies, not really even thinking that it wouldn't have that pretty edge on it. That was all cut off. So what I should have used is one of the circles from Stylish Shapes. So at least it would have that stitching around the edge. So that's what I'm going to do. Oh, your son is boarding his flight now. Good, Gladys. I'm glad to hear that. That makes me happy. Anyway, so that's when I make the card kits, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to use the Stylish Shapes circle. So it has a little bit more interest. And I used this gorgeous, gorgeous paper. Isn't that beautiful? This is like my favorite sheet in this. This is the Splendor of Autumn paper. It's part of the suite. Isn't this pretty? So I thought this will be nice. This will be nice. I think this is what I'll be using. I've got lots of pretty paper here. I'm just starting to use it, so lots of pretty paper. So your kit will be having this information. Oh, the hurricane didn't affect you in Orlando. Good. Yeah, the pictures I saw were horrible. I saw a newsman this morning carrying a woman who had been stranded in a car. He was carrying her through the water because she was seatbelted in, couldn't get out, and the water had already risen to the point it was by her neck. So it's a good thing her car didn't float away. Anyway, it was scary. Especially for a person like me who absolutely does not like water on her face. I even shower by wash my hair, I put my head back because I really don't like water on my face. Okay, so here we are. We have got pieces. Lots of pieces. I've got some extra pieces because I didn't know what I'd need. Because I didn't make one to decorate, to have it finished product. So I stamped. There's a really cool stamp in here where it's got the wheat. And so I used, well, I'll show you what I did. I can show you, even though I've got it already done. I used I think I did the brush end. And I just brushed the wheat with the wild wheat Stampin' Write marker. Remember, never use your blends on your stamps. They dry way too fast and they can discolor and mess up your stamps. And then I took my Mossy Meadow and I colored all of the stems. Just like this. You can just color right on your stamp, which is so nice. And then, yes, it has started to dry, but we all have a lot of moisture in our breath, so you just go a couple times and you stamp it down. And there you have your green stems and your wild wheat. Anyway, so I did that, cut a couple of those. I used the gold, not the gold foil. And again, and like I said, I cut a few. On Cajun Craze, I stamped in Cajun Craze. And I used the, oh, that's not coming in well. Anyway, maybe it's better here. And then I cut it out with a die. I do like having dies, I got to tell you. And I am actually streaming both to Facebook and to YouTube. I'm trying it again. I found a button while I was in my searching that said enhanced Wi-Fi. So as I said, I didn't use gold foil. I went ahead and grabbed my textured metallics, and the gold is a little darker. I think it's not quite as bright and shiny yellowish as the regular gold. It also has copper and tungsten. And it's got a little texture on it, so which is nice. I didn't really see texture on, well, I guess I can see texture in these. This is too small. Okay, oh, here's my other one. I knew I cut two of these. And then I did a thinking of you for the front of the card. And I'm using this one for the front. Would be my favorite, so that would make sense, wouldn't it? And I'm going to put it on, but it needed more, and I didn't want to put a border behind it because I didn't want to cover up too much of my favorite paper. So I just took my little sponge dauber and dipped it in my ink and then just brushed it on the edges lightly. And it's already got its little dimensionals on the back. How about that? It finished off one of my sheets. Yay! Now, we needed something to write on for our sentiment and writing. Here's the front. So the card base again is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2, and then at the bottom, 10 1/2. And you know, since it's 11 inches, that is 1/2 inch. I just put it in and scored it 1/2 inch. It just made it easier for me. Front of the card, I did Grateful for You, and this stamp set, the Autumn Expressions, the bundle, has this really fun die. Did I show you that I made a purse with it? I couldn't help myself. I've got lots of little odds and ends. So here's the purse. The sides are different. One side is a little bit smaller. So you have to be careful if you're matching it up to the outside. Like I did, this is an outside in Blackberry Bliss, and then the inside I did in the Designer Series paper. But I thought it made a cute little purse. What I'm going to do with a cute little purse, I do not know. If you have any ideas, please put them in, because I am a little confused about that. But anyway, I just cut these, and I cut them, and I did the large one. Well, I did cut two. That's why I have so many extra pieces. The large one is in Azure Afternoon, and white for the, I should put this away, because if I don't put it away, it'll get separated from its companions. Now, the other piece we need, so I've got two at 4 1/8 by 4 7/8, and one of them is already attached because I needed to cut the hole. Moving Post-it notes. So this is going to go in. I already did cut this. It's not going in quite yet, but this is the mechanism that moves. And so ignore this. This is wrong. I had it upside down. At the bottom, you're going to tape on the inside because it's going to overlap this piece for your fold. And then this one will attach to here. But before we can do that, we have to put in our designer series paper. Now I'm going to give you, I will have to put one on in order to cut the circle for you. That looks funny over there on top of the ducks. So I'm going to use the one with the biggest area of sky so that you can put your sentiment, and you don't have to use this. I'll give you the designer series paper I'll cut for these, all the cardstock, but you don't have to use a big one if you don't want to. You can use something else, or you can just leave it. And most everything is just attached with a little bit of glue. And so let's start with our assembly. Oh, I really should check this before. I do find that mine doesn't sit quite as flat as other people's that I've seen online. And so I have to unplug it fairly often. But I do like the fact that I get a nice bead with very little effort. Okay, trying not to get my head in the way, but I want to make it sure it's up high enough. There we are. I think that will do. And now for the fun part. Making it work. Also capping my blend. So what I found, I turned everything upside down, that putting the bottom on first worked a little bit better. Oh, I think I need a little sip of coffee. I like this cup. Put it back on its little heater, because that's one thing I really don't care for is when my coffee gets cold. Okay, let's take that off. This is going to, all right. It's going to attach at the fold line. And I want to make sure my sides are even. That looks about right. Give it a little rub. Oh, I guess that would have worked too. But this is easy to stretch it out, let it go to its full full length. Do any adjusting you need to do. And then you just, this glue is going right above the fold line. So you should be able just to not put your finger in it, but fold it down. Give it a little rub. And if you're not sure if it's really flat, go ahead and reinforce again the folds. So now it'll open and close. Looks like mine is a teensy bit off. And I can take my scissors later and I can trim that. I'm going to put my Grateful for You sentiment kind of in the middle. Maybe, in the middle. I just love that duck paper so much, the charming ducks, that nothing seemed like it just seemed like a sentiment would be just fine in here. Whereas I wouldn't have covered up the ducks. So here we are. Now you'll notice there really isn't anything of interest around here. So I thought that maybe I would take, well, let's put the front on first. We still need to stamp or put a little bit of DSP on the basic white, but I think this would be nice to have on. I think the flower reminds me of Queen Anne's lace, which grows wild here. And it's great for, if you hear little boofs, Harley's having a dream. He's taking his afternoon nappy on the couch. Ooh, I have to tell you, and I have to share something with you. Hi, Lori, it's good you're here. I'm glad you could join us. So, there we are. Isn't that cool? It's just a little bit of decorating. So I have got part of this suite. One of the things it has some kind of a pebble looked, different color embellishments, which I honestly have not been able to find. They are not in with my embellishments, but it's got these wonderful gold leaves, so I thought those would be handy to have. And the suite has this rustic striped ribbon. And when I looked at it, it looked to me like it was, maybe a bit stiff. It is not stiff. It is pliable. It's going to be really nice. I was thinking of doing a bow to put by the sentiment with a few little odds and ends sticking around the sentiment. But then I thought, well, what would happen if I kind of ran it through like this and we did a little zigzag. And then I decided that covered up too much. So I'm just going to put this on, make a bow, and then we're going to decorate it with our pretties. And I think I'm going to put this down here. You might want to put it elsewhere. But let's make a bow, because that'll give us something to play with first. Love my bow jig. Let's see. Ribbon snips. Sometimes I get this a little small, so hopefully I didn't this time. But I think this is going to be a good tying ribbon. And with all the gold, I think when there's a lot of gold in something, I think wild wheat tends to look gold. So that's a good thing. Let's do a little snip. Okay, it was stuck to me. Oh, I have a hint for sponge daubers. If you have sponge daubers, and you could keep them for color families, you know, like light blues and dark blues. But I kind of like mine to have their own color. And so last night I got out a new dauber and I labeled it with Azure Afternoon. And I put it in here and I thought, I wonder if there are any others that are unlabeled. Because in my mind, I put a label on everything before I put it away. Yeah, well, my mind is obviously somewhere in another land because I found all kinds of them without labels. This one's crushed curry. That was pale papaya. I'm not sure what this one is. Is it fresh freesia? Could be. Anyway, I just don't remember. So my suggestion is, before you put your sponge dauber away, go ahead and put a label on it. I'm glad I did that one last night. Okay, we're ready to decorate. We've got bits and pieces and fun things. What if we take... I don't know why, I always go to the left for ribbons. So if we put our ribbon here, and we've got gold, and we have a gold leaf shape. We've got the Cajun craze, and another gold. How would those look under here? Or we could do it, since this is at the top, we could do this at the bottom. Okay, this is where I need your help. What do you think? And I'm just going to wait here for a minute. And then I will, while we're waiting, I think. Oh, our brains are programmed to go from left to right like in reading. I think you're right. Although occasionally I wonder if my brain is really working. You like it here on the bottom. Me too. Let me find some bling. Since I couldn't find the bling for the suite, I've got a couple of options. Let's see. Okay. I have 4 options. These are the very cute little, they're the iridescent foil gems. They're small, but they're pretty, and they've got that foil in them that make them look so sparkly. I like sparkle. The ever-loved and wonderful basic rhinestone jewels. Now these have small and large in them. These are the Drusi adhesive-backed embellishments. And Drusi, you know, like geodes that have those beautiful, once you cut them open, they're gorgeous. That is what Drusi means. So there we are. So there's a choice. Or we can go with sequins. And while this pack of sequins on top, the gold is all gone, the brand new pack inside has gold sequins. Or I suppose we could use copper. I've got my window open and I hear neighbors laughing. That's fun. So I'm going to do this first. Do I have the metal leaves? I do not have the metal leaves. Just the metalish that I cut out of the foil, the textured metallic foils. And the gold leaf. So let's put this together while we think about which of the four. I'll put them up here. I am making a complete mess. I want you to know that I have destroyed my table. So there's the four. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Because you know how confused I get. So I'll let you work on that while I start using my glue dots and put some pretties on the front. We're also going to put some on the inside. Some pretties. So let's take this and tuck it under. And this one. And these will, of course, all be in your kit, and you can do with them whatever you like. I'd almost like to put a dimensional on one of them, but the one I want to put the dimension on is this little flimsy thing, so it's not going to work. Okay. Got stuck on my fingernail. And if any of these are too long, because it's hidden, you can always cut them off. Because I wasn't thinking about where I was putting my sentiment and where everything would fit. So I think this one is going to get a little bit of glue. Maybe right there. And here, and let's go up to the second ones, and maybe just a tiny bit right there. I do like that I can get with my precision glue press, I like that I can get a little bit of glue out, glue dots, instead of doing large amounts. Okay, let's hold it down for just a moment. 2 and 3 are the same. Nope. Oh, 2 and 3 are the same. Well, what happened to my little ones? Oh, okay, 2 is the foil gems, the little foil gems. Okay, I think that's going to stay. And now a glue dot for my bow. I appreciate your help on this because I truly had no idea what I was going to do. I had an idea. That's why I have bits and pieces, but it was late last night when I was going with plan B here, since I didn't have the duck pond DSP. Okay, there we are. Let's see. I don't know if I want that. On another paper, this would be great because some of the paper does have that particular, sweet. I'm going to put this and maybe one of these behind it. Okay. 2. I like 2. 2 was one of my favorites. And I want to put, I'm really not too awful worried about, I'm a little bit worried about thickness. So maybe I will put them up at the top. Let's do a blue right in there, and usually I just plop them on without thinking. It goes much better. Oh, let's put it right here in the middle of the colored one. Okay. Got a little bit of, they don't show up very well. It's better in person. But I don't see them as really standing out on this particular paper. So I am going to do something a little different. If I can get them up with their glue dot, I can reuse them. That there. Let's go with gold. Let's see if gold will work. I think gold is actually going to stand out a little bit, and we've got gold on the bottom. Let's put one down here by the ribbon and pop this one. We'll put two together and then we've still got our triangle. Those actually show up better than the other did. I wouldn't have thought that. All right, we've got our front done. You will notice there is no wink of Stella. It's hard not to use wink of Stella. Now, we'll put something on the inside. I think we're going to do maybe a gold at the top, and I'll stick it to the mechanism. So it needs to go, oh, it really doesn't matter which side it goes in. These look the same from both sides. It just needs dressing up just a little bit. Oh. The problem with the gold is you can, because it's mesh, you can feel the glue dot. So let's give this underneath. Ooh, let's give this one underneath. And put the glue dot on the gold side and find the spot that's sticky. Stick that one under there. There, I think I got it. And this one can go above the gold. Oh, I've got no use for wink of Stella. This is boring without it sparkling. And we don't want a boring piece of cardstock on our pretty card. There. Okay, that makes me happier. I was able to use my wink of Stella. I want you to know that I would have bet money, even though I'm not a betting person, that wink of Stella was not in the catalog. I looked and I looked and I looked. And there was a video. I'm going to put this underneath. Well, that's interesting. It kind of flops. I don't like that. Let's go back to the drawing board. With these two anyway. Because I can always come in with there, let's see if that doesn't give us a little more stability. If you have a glue dot like this mesh, thank you, Cindy. Yes, I was struggling with that. Your embossing buddy is a powder-filled pouch. and it will take off the sticky, if anything is sticky. So just by putting it in and letting it touch that little back of the glue dot, the back of the glue dot is no longer sticky. All right, so we have our card, and we have a mess. I think I ought to get points for this particular mess because, may I say, I have outdone myself today. Let's put the lid on this, the lid on this, and somewhere on my table is the pokey end cover for safety. Now, whew, here we have, so we're going to make a little, what do you think about gluing that on there? That way I get to use one of them that I made. I'm not going to write a sentiment on because we've got 2 sentiments on here. It's got lots of room to write. I've made a few scraps. I could see if there's one that I could just cut a little bit off. I don't have a lot of strips. Let's see. This really doesn't go with our color scheme, nor that one. This one would be fine if I cut a little, it's too skyish. Ooh, wrong direction, but that would be good. No, I don't think I'm going with that. None of my little strips are the right color or the right direction. The one that was the right color wasn't the right direction. Okay, so I think I'm just going to use this. Since I made it, it should have a home. And I'm fine with it coming a little bit from the sides. Well, that was not good. Now I've made a glue mess. And that's okay, because I know that I can take my embossing buddy. Oh, hi, Kat. Good to see you. Hi, Nance. Oh, you said Nancy Bivens. I'm in the... Oh, there you are. I see you corrected it. Oh, your sister from Jefferson City. Hi, Donna. Nice to meet you. Okay, here we are. I think that's going to do. It's going to take a little bit to dry, and that's all right. Let's do a little Seal Plus, because before I close it up, it will be dry, and I will be able to use my embossing buddy to make sure it's not sticky. Because believe me, there's nothing worse than to open your card and realize that it's stuck to the bottom. How would I know about that, I wonder? Catch it early, though, and you can fix it, because there's no mistakes in card making. So, there's our card. I'm not going to do the envelope today, because I don't know what I'm doing on it. But looks still a little wet, so I'm just going to set that aside. The other thing I wanted to show you, oh, Cindy, thank you. Yes, the glue mess. It's amazing. I have not been able to find my sanding block. I know I owned a craft sanding block. It was in a kit, and I got it years ago, and I think this last fall when I made mystery boxes, I do believe. Oh, I'm glad she likes it. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, Gladys. Anyway, no sanding block. Didn't show up. I think I put it in a mystery box because I have not used it in so many years. So why would I keep it? Well, obviously that was short-sighted on my part, and I will be buying a sanding block. But what I did was I took a piece of the two-tone cardstock, so the Cajun Crage, I believe it is, lighter on one side, darker on the other. I ran it through the embossing folder, and then I took this cute little emery board, which is a handy little thing. I've already worn the corner off though. And pushing those things out of the way, because why would we put them away and be neat? I just went like this. And I think I probably picked the wrong embossing folder, although it's cool. It's the Changing Leaves, the hybrid one. I think that it's much of it. Well, this one is just not wanting to work. Is two different heights of embossing. Oh, Lori, with the duct paper, good. I thought I had ordered some, but I wasn't thinking far enough ahead when I put my last order in. I do like the Charming Duck on paper. So it gets the top really well, and this has a white core. And so you just do your sanding or your emery board over the top. I think with a block, I would be able to get it in better. So what I had to do was I had to use the edge of my sanding blocks, my emery board. And I've worn out one end already. One thing I will say, and I didn't stop and think about it, is it makes all this little dust. I've actually used, I think, all my emery board edges last night. But anyway, that's how it works. So you get that pretty white core showing through. I think that'll make a pretty card front when I get it finished, which is probably when I buy a new block. I wonder if I have a sanding block from Nails. I will go try that out. Anyway, that's what I've got for you today. I had a happy mail come this week. Not the day the post office said it was going to come, but the following day. So, isn't this cute? And this, I've made cards like this, but never thought to fold the edge and put my front. So she made a little box and the front's on it. So it's just glued on in this one little strip. Isn't that cool? This is from Sue Beatty, so it was part of a swap, which was very fun. Let's see, we've covered all the stuff that's going on with Stampin' Up! And the new things. Yes, a manicure sanding block would be good if I have one. And that might be what I order if I don't have one. I don't know. I don't do my own nails anymore. I go in and I get them done, and so I don't have to have a sanding block. But that doesn't mean I don't own a sanding block because I have a lot of things. I've got a piece of a glue dot stuck on my nail. It was bothering me. Anyway, I think that's it for today. I'm glad you joined. And again, our winners are Cindy Howard for sharing on Facebook. Well, actually, there were no YouTube shares, so she gets the YouTube share even though she shared on Facebook. Cindy Walker for sharing on Facebook. Heidi Keeney for commenting on YouTube. And Gladys for Chase Rinks for commenting on Facebook. So those are going into, if you missed my little spiel at first, my little story time, I ordered stamps and I have a stack of mail. It's growing. And I'm waiting for my stamps to arrive. Oh, thank you. And I think you have to try it. Yes, it was a fun card. I enjoyed it. Anyway, I think that's it for today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend and happy crafting.